Man United had to carry out an unprecedented purge in this summer. Rashford moves to Barcelona, Garnacho moves to Chelsea, Antony sold off to Betis, Sancho has been sent on loan to Aston Villa, Rasmus Højlund seals transfer to Napoli. Tyrell Malaysia is still stuck at Manchester United. The club suffered heavy losses and severe reputational damage, but this is the only option for the Red Devils to open a new chapter. If not changed, Man United will continue to be held back by toxic legacies from the old days. The salary fund was bloated, the players were lazy, locker room unrest. In the purge group, Rashford is the only one leaving while still maintaining respect. At the beginning of the summer, he wanted to go to Barcelona. No beating around the bush, no dragging out the drama. Rashford accepted a deep pay cut to regain motivation, instead of staying at Old Trafford in a state of boredom. This is very different from Jadon Sancho and Alejandro Garnacho, who tried to drag the club into a difficult situation. Thanks to civilized behavior, Rashford left in relief for both sides. On the contrary, Garnacho was the most painful punch for Manchester United. As soon as Ruben Amorim was removed from the plan, Garnacho publicly announced his only wish to go to Chelsea. Not Roma, not Dortmund, not any other club, only Chelsea. He was willing to sit out the whole season if he could not move from the proactive position. Manchester United was forced and stuck. In the end, they had to sell cheaply for £40 million with 10% resale. Financially, it was a profit, but in terms of image, it was a failure. Manchester United fans were even more outraged when the farewell to Garnacho was only 96 cold and insensitive words. This is a deal where Manchester United lost both people and face. Antony made them ashamed. They gave up nearly €100 million brought back from Ajax. In the end, after 3 seasons, in exchange for only a few goals and a series of superficial matches, Real Betis was the only destination Antony agreed to. And they knew Manchester United had reached the end of the road. The negotiations were prolonged. Real Betis paid £21, $22 million, with a 50% resale clause. This is the clearest proof of the failure of Erik ten Hag's time and a slap in the face to the club's reputation. Jadon Sancho is really the biggest frustration. High salary makes him not want to leave. Many clubs were interested, but he refused. As Roma, Besiktas, even Dortmund once looked, but Jadon Sancho didn't care. In the end, Manchester United only had to lend to Aston Villa, accepting to shoulder a large part of the salary. This is no different from a double failure. The economy is losing, reputation damage, and the player himself is in control. With Jadon Sancho, this is an escape to save his career. With Manchester United, this is a bitter lesson in contract management. Tyrell Malaysia is stuck, but it doesn't affect anything. Low salary, low value, keeping him doesn't put pressure. If he's lucky, he can still rotate on the left wing. This is a backlog case, but it's not serious. The only case that makes fans feel regretful is Rasmus Højlund. He doesn't have an attitude problem, he's not lazy, he's simply too young to carry the attack at the age of 20. Being pushed into the position of Manchester United's #1 striker is too much. The results of his performance stagnated, his confidence gradually lost. He went to Napoli on loan, is considered an opportunity to restart his career, not to liquidate. Manchester United fans even hope that one day Rasmus Højlund will grow up and return as a stronger version. Overall, Manchester United lost on the transfer table this summer, losing more than they gained, losing a lot of money and being embarrassed about their image. But that's the price to pay, because if you keep this group of players, the club will continue to be drained of vitality. The salary fund will not be tidy, the dressing room will not be at peace, and any reconstruction plan will just be a fantasy for a while. Luke Shaw once said, "This is the team with the best spirit in the past 10 years. To get that, we are forced to suffer, and this pain is ultimately a bitter medicine for the future."